Valery Trading, the developer behind the record-breaking Waka Waka, just released a new EA called Sentinel AI, and we immediately started trading it because the verified track record is simply incredible. Plus, the EA increases in price rapidly over the first few weeks of its release. So stay tuned to see why we believe this will be one of the best EAs on the market. Before we get into it, just a quick favor. Most people aren't actually subscribed, so please take a second to check if you are. It's completely free and it helps us keep testing robots, running live accounts, and sharing real results with you, saving you precious time and money. Thank you. Let's get into it. So let's start by looking at the Sentinel AI EA on the vendor's website, and you can see that I have it open for you here, and there is a verified track record, which we're going to look at in a second. But a few things to note: that firstly, you can get a 14-day free trial, okay, and this EA has got some performance stats here on the website, so 420% over its lifetime, and this started at the end of 2019 or the beginning of 2020, which we'll look at in a second. Average monthly return of 2%, which is great. A max drawdown of 30%, and it has been on profit for the 71 of the 72 months that it has been trading, and the track record is just over 7 years old. Okay, the currencies that it is optimized for are the euro dollar and the pound dollar. We are trading it on the pound dollar. I'm going to show that to you as well a little bit later in the video. It is a grid EA, but there are a number of settings that you can change and adjust so that you can really customize it to your own style and your own risk appetite. And there is a bit more information. So for example, the time frame that it trades on, etc. And then it tells you a little bit more about the features. I will link to down below in the description so you can go through all of this in your own time. What you'll see is that it is currently priced at $799. Now, when this was released about a week ago, it was at $599. And what they're doing is that they are increasing it by $100 for every 10 licenses that they sell. So every time they sell 10 licenses, the price goes up by 100. However, I will show you a little bit later in the video how you can get this EA for free. All right, so what do you get for the money that you pay for the license? Well, you get lifetime licenses. What's very cool is that you get 10 MetaTrader 4 or 5 licenses, so you can trade this on multiple demo or live accounts, funded accounts potentially. There is also a money back guarantee, and then a few other extra benefits that you can get. And then there are some reviews down here that you can read in your own time as well. Now, as promised, let's take a look at the track record, and that is right here. What we can see is that we've got an incredibly smooth equity and balance line. So that one drawdown that we spoke of, which as you can see was just under 30%, happened here. So if you look at the growth in this account, it is pretty awesome. What is also very cool is that the live tick is enabled. So we know that this is a real and unmanipulated track record. Now let's go down to have a look at the performance on a monthly basis, and let's start in 2026. You can see that every month so far has been profitable. Average is somewhere between about 1.7 and 4%. As we saw earlier, it averages 2% a month. If we look at 2025, again, we can see that the profit fluctuates, but it's kind of between 1% and 2 or 3% there. Earlier on, it actually had some better months. We can look at 2023, for example. You can see here that it went up to close to 3%. In 2022, we had a month with 6%. I believe in 2021 as well. Yeah, there it is there. So it was a little bit more profitable, and I assume that they would have adjusted the risk, but overall a very, very profitable strategy. And this is live trading, and as you saw, it has got the live tick available, so these are verified results. If we look at the trades and we look at the trade history very quickly, you'll see that they are trading it on pound dollar as well as euro dollar, so you can see that we have both of those in the trade history, but we decided just to trade it on one of the currency pairs based on the results that we got and what we're looking for, and that's what we can see here in our live account. You can see that we're just trading it on the pound dollar. Now, as I mentioned, this is a brand new EA, so we've only had it trading for about a day and a half. So far, we've got 3 profitable trades, so looking good so far, but of course it is still very early days. What you'll see is the first trade was 0.01, but then we adjusted it according to our backtest results, and we found that 0.03 was the starting lot that we wanted. Now, when trading a live account, or any account for that matter, it is absolutely critical to pick the right broker. And we have decided to trade this with IC Markets, and IC Markets are one of the biggest brokers in the world. They are particularly well set up for algo trading. Of course, as always, they are fully regulated, as you can see down here at the bottom of their homepage. But what is very important as well is their trading conditions. So if I look at the trading conditions for the pound dollar, the currency that we're going to be trading the CEA with, what we can see is that for the raw spread account, we have an average of 0.04 pips, and for the standard account, we have an average of 0.12 with a minimum of 0.08. So very, very tight spreads and really will make a big, big difference to the performance of the EA and to our profitability ultimately. So let's go back to the VPS and have a look at the settings, and there are many, and there is a 120-page guide or something like that you get when you download the EA. So everything is explained in a lot of details there, but there are a few things that I want to show you that I feel are quite important and the ones that we changed. So the first thing is the lot sizing method. Now we have opted for fixed lots. Now that doesn't mean like with some of the EAs where it will open the same lot size for every recovery trade. However, if we open this up and we look at the options, what we can see is that we've got fixed lots, we've got lots based on deposit load. I think this is kind of a money management system where it will open 0.01 lots for every $750 in the account. So let's look at the rest of them. And then there are another ones, and you've obviously also got your high risk, your mid risk, and your low risk. So you can backtest them and you can try them all in your own time, see which one works best for you. The ones that we found that work best are the fixed lots. Now, what that means is that we're not going to be implementing any kind of money management. No matter how big the account gets, it's going to continue to open the first trade at 0.03 lots. So something else that's important whenever you're trading any kind of a grid system is your maximum number of trades. And there is an option down here somewhere for that as well. I believe we have it set to 4, if I'm not mistaken. Let me find it. Yep, here it is right here. So we've got a maximum of 4. So it'll be your initial trade plus 3 recovery trades. And then in terms of the trade sizing, this is where you can set it exactly how you want it. So if you wanted this to trade without any sort of martingale or doubling of your lot sizes or anything like that, you could set this to 111, assuming of course that you've got 3 recovery trades. What we've done is we have set it to 236. I believe this is the default. So in other words, if we're trading with 0.03 lots, the first recovery trade will be 0.06 lots. The second one will be 0.09 lots, and then the third one will be 0.18. Now, I haven't seen it yet, even in the vendor's track record, get to that third recovery trade, but this is where we're limiting it. But again, if you wanted to trade this with slightly lower risk, you could adjust this accordingly. The other thing that we can take a very quick look at is the symbols. As I mentioned, we're only trading on the pound dollar, so we have selected that here, but this is where you would place any of the other currencies that you want to trade. So as you saw, it is optimized for the euro dollar and the pound dollar. But obviously, if you've backtested it and you've tried it on other currencies or other assets and you found that you get good results and you want to trade on those as well, this is where you would put it. And you can also limit the number of currencies that can trade. Now, doing it this way, you don't need to add this EA to more than one chart. You simply need to add the asset that you're going to be trading here in the settings. So that's some of the main changes that we made. As I mentioned, there are something like 120 settings that you can play around with and you can try, and it's all explained in great detail in the manual that you get when you download the EA. Now, lastly, as promised, I want to show you how you can actually get this EA for free, because you might be watching this video in a few months, and as you saw, the price is going to go up to about 2,600 is where it's capped. But if you do want to get it for free at a later stage, there's a way to do that, and you can do that by going to the Easy Algos site. Now, if you're not familiar with Easy Algos, this is essentially a website where you can get some of the top performing EAs. We have a number of accounts with them, and what you need to do is you need to open an account with IC Market through Easy Algos. There's an application process. You open up a 5K live trading account, and then you can select the EA that you want to trade, and you'll see that the Easy Sentinel is one of the options available to you. So again, if you're looking at this video in a few months time or longer, when the price is over $2,000 and you want to trade it and you want to trade it on a big account, this is a way to do it and get the EA for free. What I really like about this EA is that they aren't promising or sharing crazy returns, but a steady 2% per month that's been proven with a very acceptable max drawdown. Perfect for live trading. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I will leave links to the EA, IC Markets, all of our live accounts, so you can keep an eye on this account, as well as Easy Algos if you want the EA for free. If you want to learn more about another EA we're trading in a live account, and it's free, check out this video here. As always, thanks for watching, trade safe, and I'll see you soon.